Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen and enjoy my stories every day. The evening had settled over the city with a chilly embrace as I watched Jenna prepare for her night out. It was supposed to be just another get-together with her friends, but something didn't sit right with me. Jenna, humming a tune, slid into her favorite lacy lingerie, the one she saved for special occasions, and I couldn't help but feel a twinge of suspicion. Why the fancy get-up for a girl's night? I asked casually, leaning against the doorframe of our bedroom. Jenna glanced at me through the mirror, her smile faltering for a fraction of a second before she recovered. "Oh, just felt like dressing up a bit. It's been so long since we've all met," she replied, her voice a melody of feigned nonchalance. I nodded, though her answer did little to ease the knot of doubt tightening in my stomach. Lately, she had been coming home later and later from work, her excuses flimsy and rehearsed. Tonight, her choice of attire only added to my growing unease. As she left, kissing me on the cheek with a promise to not be late, I made a decision. Standing in the dim light of our foyer, I watched her car disappear around the corner, and then I grabbed my coat. I had to know. The drive to the electronics store was quick, my mind racing faster than the traffic. I purchased a GPS tracker, a small, inconspicuous device, and once I was back home, I waited. The hours ticked by, each one amplifying my restlessness. It wasn't until the dead of night, when the city was steeped in silence, that I drove to where Jenna had parked and discreetly placed the tracker on her car. The next day was agonizing. I watched the GPS signal on my phone like a hawk, the dot on the screen a beacon of betrayal. It didn't head towards the city center, where she worked, or any familiar hangout of her friends. Instead, it veered off towards the countryside, stopping at a location that sent a chill down my spine, the country home of Michael, a family friend. Heart pounding, I drove there, my grip on the steering wheel tight enough to whiten my knuckles. As I pulled up to Michael's sprawling estate, a sense of dread settled over me. The house was secluded, surrounded by dense woods, the perfect place for secrets to fester. I approached the front door, my every step heavy with the weight of impending heartbreak. I rang the bell, once, twice, no answer. The silence of the house was punctuated only by the distant sound of moaning. It drifted through an open window, a sound so painfully familiar that it shattered the last of my denial. I stood there, frozen, as the truth clawed its way into my heart. Jenna was inside, with Michael, my friend, my confidant. The betrayal was a physical pain, a deep, wrenching ache that threatened to consume me. In that moment, rage flared within me, hot and blinding. But I did nothing. I couldn't. Instead, I returned to my car, defeated and broken, the drive home a blur of tears and fury. The days that followed were a haze of anger and planning. When Jenna returned, I was ready. The confrontation was brief, her confessions spilled out amidst sobs and pleas for forgiveness. But my decision was made. I couldn't look at her, let alone live with her. "I want a divorce," I said, my voice steady despite the chaos raging inside me. She didn't fight it. Perhaps she too knew this was the only path left. And so, I watched as she packed her bags and left, her departure closing the chapter on our life together. But this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. My mind whirled with thoughts of revenge, not just against Jenna but against Michael too. They thought this was over, but I was just getting started. The early morning light barely filters through the curtains as I sit at the kitchen table, the remnants of last night's confrontation scattered around me like the debris after a storm. My phone lies silent beside me, its screen dark and uninviting. I need allies, I realize, if I am to navigate the treacherous path I've set for myself. I dial Rick, my closest friend since college, who has always had my back. The phone rings briefly before he picks up, his voice groggy with sleep. "Hey, man, what's up?" "It's early," Rick mutters. "It's Jenna. She's been cheating on me with Michael," I blurt out, the words tasting bitter in my mouth. There's a pause, and then a sharp intake of breath. What? Are you sure? Yes. I found out last night. I need to meet up. Can you talk? Of course, man. Give me an hour, and I'll meet you at Jerry's cafe. The cafe is quiet when I arrive, the usual morning crowd not yet trickling in. Rick is already there, a frown creasing his brow as he waves me over. Talk to me, Alex. What exactly happened? Rick asks, his tone serious, the usual light in his eyes replaced by concern. I recount the story, leaving nothing out, from the lingerie to the GPS tracker, to the unbearable confirmation of my worst fears. Rick listens silently, his expression darkening with each word. This is messed up, Alex. What are you planning to do? He asks once I've finished. I don't know yet, but I want to make sure they both regret betraying me. Rick nods, his jaw set. You know I'm with you, whatever you need. But let's think this through properly. Revenge won't undo what happened. I know, but it might give me some peace, I reply, the resolve hardening in my voice. Just then, another figure approaches our table, Lisa, a mutual friend and once a close confidant of Jenna. Her face is etched with concern. I heard what happened, she says, her voice low. I can't believe Jenna would do this to you. Neither did I admit, feeling a wave of sadness. We need to be careful, Lisa adds. Both Jenna and Michael are influential. If we're going to do something about this, it needs to be smart. The three of us brainstorm, hatching a plan that grows more elaborate with each passing minute. It involves gathering more evidence, possibly confronting Michael, and ensuring that their social circle knows the truth. It's risky, and it teeters on the edge of legality, but the fire of betrayal fuels our resolve. As we part ways, a plan of action roughly outlined, the sky opens up, rain pouring down as if to wash away the remnants of a life I once knew. I drive home, the wipers working furiously to keep the windshield clear. With each swipe, my determination grows stronger. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about reclaiming my dignity and ensuring no one else falls victim to their deceit. The storm has just begun, and I am at its center, ready to strike back. The crisp autumn air bites at my skin as I stand outside Michael's office building, an imposing glass structure that mirrors the gray skies above. My phone buzzes, Rick confirming that he's in position with the camera equipment. We decided that exposing Michael would require undeniable proof of his duplicity. Ready when you are, Rick's text reads. Going in, I reply, my fingers numb as they tap out the message. Stepping into the lobby, I adjust the hidden microphone clipped under my jacket. The receptionist, a young woman with sharp glasses, looks up as I approach. Can I help you? She asks, her voice as crisp as the air outside. I need to see Michael. It's urgent, I say, keeping my voice steady. Do you have an appointment? She eyes me skeptically. No, but please tell him it's Alex Johnson. He'll want to see me. A flicker of recognition crosses her face, and after a hesitant moment, she picks up the phone. I wait, watching the elevators with a pounding heart. After a brief exchange, she hangs up and gives me a nod. He'll see you. Take the elevator to the 9th floor, she instructs, gesturing towards the elevators. The ride up feels interminable, the digital numbers slowly climbing. When the doors finally open, I step out into a sleek, modern hallway. Michael's office is at the end, the door slightly ajar. I don't knock, I push it open and enter. Michael is at his desk, looking up in surprise as I invade his private sanctum. His expression shifts quickly from shock to a guarded mask. Alex, this is unexpected, he says coolly, rising from his chair. What brings you here? I think you know why I'm here, I reply, my voice even but firm. If this is about Jenna, I can explain, he starts, but I cut him off. Save it. I know everything, Michael. And soon, everyone else will too. His face pales, a hint of panic in his eyes. What do you want, Alex? First, I want an admission. Then we can discuss how you're going to make this right. Michael hesitates, then sinks back into his chair, defeated. All right. I admit it. I was involved with Jenna. It was wrong, and I'm sorry. His voice is low, remorseful, or at least feigning it well. The conversation that follows is tense, with Michael agreeing to a list of demands that include a public apology and financial reparations. Unbeknownst to him, every word is being recorded, the small microphone picking up his confessions clearly. As I leave his office, a weight lifts from my shoulders, but the battle is far from over. Stepping back into the elevator, I text Rick. Got it. Good. Meet you back at the car, he replies. We review the footage in the safety of Rick's car, the audio clear and damning. With this evidence, we can begin the next phase of our plan, taking it public. But first, we have to confront Jenna. Later that evening, I drive to the house Jenna now rents. She opens the door after the second knock, her expression wary as she sees me. Alex, what are you? I met with Michael today, I interrupt. He confessed everything. Jenna blinks, her face going pale. Alex, No, Jenna. You'll listen now, I say firmly. I have proof of everything, and it's going to go public unless we settle this now. The discussion that follows is fraught with tension. Jenna is shaken, realizing the full extent of the consequences of her actions. We negotiate terms quietly and painfully, the betrayal between us too deep to ever allow for reconciliation. As I leave her house, the night feels darker than before, the streets quiet and empty. I've set the wheels in motion for a public reckoning, but the personal cost weighs heavily on me. Yet, this is just the beginning. Justice, however it ends up looking, will have its day. The heavy clouds hang low over the city, mirroring the turmoil in my heart as I prepare for the final act of my plan. The evidence is ready, the stage set, and the players all poised for the curtain to fall. I take a deep breath as I step into the community hall, where a meeting has been hastily convened by Lisa, under the guise of a neighborhood concern. The room buzzes with anticipation, neighbors whispering among themselves, unaware of the drama about to unfold. Jenna and Michael are both present, their faces taut with nervous energy. Rick stands discreetly to the side, a nod affirming everything is in place. I clear my throat, stepping up to the podium. The room falls silent, all eyes on me. Thank you for coming on such short notice, I begin, my voice steady. Today, I reveal something deeply personal and painful. This isn't easy, but necessary. Jenna's eyes widen in alarm, and Michael shifts uncomfortably in his seat. I recently discovered that my wife, Jenna, has been having an affair with our friend, Michael. Murmurs ripple through the room as I continue. This betrayal was not just a private matter but involved deceit to our entire community. I gesture to Rick, who starts a projector. The screen flickers to life, showing emails, texts, and the damning audio of Michael's confession. The reactions are immediate and vocal. Shocked gasps and indignant shouts fill the air as the community absorbs the evidence of betrayal. Jenna stands abruptly, her voice shaking. Alex, I'm so sorry. I never wanted. Save it, Jenna. Everyone needs to know the truth, I cut her off, the coldness in my voice foreign even to my own ears. As the meeting dissolves into chaos, with neighbors confronting Jenna and Michael, Lisa approaches me, a sympathetic look on her face. There's something you should know, she says quietly, pulling me aside amidst the commotion. What is it? I ask, bracing for more bad news. It's about the night you found out. I was with Jenna that evening, earlier. She was at a support group for depression, not with friends as you assumed, Lisa reveals, her eyes earnest. Confusion clouds my thoughts. But the lingerie, the late nights. She was struggling, trying to find something that made her feel wanted, alive. She wasn't with Michael until that one night. He took advantage, Alex. I'm sorry. The room spins as I process her words. I had set this entire revelation in motion without knowing the full story, driven by hurt and a thirst for revenge. Is this true? I turn to confront Jenna, who's been quietly sobbing in the corner. Yes, she whispers. I was lost, Alex. But it was only that one night. I wanted to tell you, to explain everything, but then everything fell apart. The weight of my actions crashes into me. My quest for revenge, based on partial truths, had spiraled out of control, affecting innocent lives. I didn't know, is all I can manage, the anger seeping out of me, replaced by a profound sadness. Jenna nods, tears streaming down her face. I know. And I'm sorry too. For everything. The hall empties slowly, leaving me standing alone, the echoes of the shattered trust ringing loud in my ears. Jenna and Michael leave separately, the hurt and betrayal too deep to mend. Days turn into weeks, and the dust settles. The community slowly heals, but the scars remain. Jenna moves away, seeking a fresh start, while Michael faces the consequences of his actions among those he deceived. As for me, I'm left to reflect on the price of vengeance. It had consumed me, blinding me to the complexities of human emotions and situations. I had wanted justice but realized too late that the truth was more layered than I had allowed myself to see. The story ends not with reconciliation, but with separation, a painful but necessary conclusion to a saga of deception, hurt and ultimately, understanding. The intrigue of the plot was not just in the betrayal, but in the revelation of our own limitations in understanding and forgiving each other.